All Blacks and Italy this weekend. It's ranked number 1 against ranked number 14. It's been a wee while since these teams have met, but we'll go over the squads which are out, some of the predictions, some stats, and you guys can let me know your thoughts on how this one is going to go. Italy don't have a great record against New Zealand. They have never beaten New Zealand, and when they have played, it tends to be pretty lopsided. That being said, the most recent scheduled fixture was that cancelled game at the Rugby World Cup. So if you want to look at a bright side, by some stupid logic, then the most recent game is not a win, although it wasn't played. So you can probably discount that one. As I mentioned, the last 5, it's 5-zip. The last whatever, it's all Blacks, and the average score just in the last 5 is 45 points to 7. Although some of those matches are dating back more than kind of 10 years ago now. So, yeah, it tends to be pretty lopsided when these two teams meet. Italy got a new coach, Kieran Crowley, and he's kind of come out and said this is his first match in charge of Italy, that don't expect the kind of scoreline to be shifting too much in the immediate future, which is probably brutally honest. But anyway, we will see how things go this weekend. Italy are kind of bolstered by the return of some players, and they have got one debutant on the bench, but otherwise it's mostly familiar faces and some guys who've been in pretty good form for their clubs as well. Fischetti, Lucchesi, and Riccioni are the starting front rowers. Lucchesi's been on a bit of a try-scoring run in the URC, which has been great to see for Benetton. And Riccioni, who's playing with Saracens, has actually been bossing things at scrum time. So maybe that's one area where Italy can get some pay. Marco Fuso, I haven't seen him play for Italy for a long time, but he's back in the squad alongside Cici in the second row. Negri, Lamaro, and Giamarioli, the loosies. Giamarioli is a proper dynamic loose forward, so hopefully he gets a chance to get some ball in hand and test the All Blacks off the back of the scrum. Hoskins, Sotutu, and Sam Cane will be pretty aware, I guess, of what he's going to bring. Interestingly, Lamaro is captain, I think, for the first time of Italy for this one, because Bigi, who's usually captain, is relegated to the bench. Backs, Varney and Garbisi are 9-10. Garbisi is one of those guys who seems like he's got bags of potential. Hopefully the Italian team can kind of match where his skill set is at, because he's developed really well. Very exciting player to watch. He'll need to watch his kicking. As exciting as he is a prospect and loves to chuck the ball around, the odd aimless kick, if you do that against the All Blacks, will certainly be pretty badly punished. Zenon and Brex are the midfield. Brex will need to be quick because the All Blacks midfield tends to be pretty quick, and Zenon is an exciting guy going forward. More dynamic, I guess, in terms of being able to break the line. But he's up against two pretty good young All Blacks midfielders, so we will see how he goes. He's a pretty young man himself. Monty Ioane has been a bit of a revelation. He's been playing cracking stuff for Benetton in terms of just individual brilliance, breaking tackles, getting clean breaks, chips and regathers, and then he's been doing that for Italy for the last, how long is he since he got his debut? Like a year? And then Mori is on the other wing with Minozzi is one of the guys who sat out the Six Nations. He's back, and he's another bit of a live wire guy at fullback. Whether the All Blacks choose to test him under the high ball or not will be an interesting one. The bench is Bigi. Nemo is in for his debut. Ciccarelli, Canone, Ruzza, Stain, Brayley, and Canna. So just the two backs on the bench, and Brayley and Canna. Canna can cover kind of 10 and the midfield, and I guess they can kind of shift things around if needs be. But the fact that they've gone with the 6 forwards, I guess, means they want to try and put as much physicality into the game as they can. For New Zealand, it's a much changed lineup over the one that played Wales. Certainly a less experienced lineup, but you have got Sam Cane back. He's been injured for quite some time, got a few minutes against the USA, and he's back now, so he is captain. Good to see, because he's been coming back from a pretty serious injury. Bauer, Coles, and Lomax is an all-new front row. Lomax up from the bench from the Wales game, but Coles and Bauer are back in the squad, and Coles is like Kane in that he's kind of been out for a while injured, so they've been easing him back into it without wanting to rush anything. Va'i and Lord is certainly a pretty inexperienced locking duo. Lord is only in his second test, and Va'i, how many tests has he got now? I think he's probably still single digits, but he's really looked the business. But it's pretty early days for him to be the senior guy amongst the locks. But there you go. That's his mission for this game. Jacobson, Kane, and Satutu the back row. So I mentioned Kane being back. Hopefully he goes well. Jacobson was maybe a bit unlucky not to play last week, to be fair. He's been phenomenal. And Hoskins Satutu, a genuine number 8, who's not been getting a heck of a lot of game time because we've got Savia playing 8. And he's been actually doing really well. So it's kind of tough out on Hoskins because I do like the idea of having him as that kind of specialist 8. But at the moment, it proves difficult for him to round up any minutes. Weber and Moong is the 19 combo, so 2 guys from the bench promoted to the starting lineup this time. Tupaia and Enor, that young midfield I mentioned. Tupaia looks honestly the business. Maybe he is the answer at 12 going forward because Havili's been solid without being spectacular. Tupaia seems to bring that bit of a physical edge, so we will see how he goes. Enor back fit as well. He could use a good game certainly because I don't know, he just needs some solid game time to see what he can do at test level. Reese and Bridge are the wings, and D-Mac is there at fullback. That fullback spot seems to have been pretty much snapped up by Geordie Barrett at this point, so D-Mac likewise could use a good game, although I don't think D-Mac's spot is in any kind of particular threat, but maybe just not as a starter at the moment. The bench, Almoa, De Groot and Tuangafasi are all back into the squad. Whitelock drops to the bench, so a lot of experience there. Frizzell's back, Christie's back, and then Havili and Geordie Barrett also dropped to the bench. So 3 backs, 5 forwards on the bench for the All Blacks, but basically it's almost a whole new squad. It's all... Did anybody start? I don't think anybody started last week who started this week. They're all either new guys to 23 or guys promoted from the bench. Like I said, Italy, man, you can't kick poorly to New Zealand. They'll punish you. You can't chuck loose balls or you'll be intercepted all day long. It's kind of easier said than done, but don't do those things against the All Blacks. It's already kind of a hard enough mission as it is. The All Blacks are going to want to play quick ball. They've been racking up run meters like mad, and it's one area that kind of Italy struggle with is they get a decent amount of ball against the teams they play, but struggle to kind of get much go for it. They average less than 3 meters per carry when the minimum or the standard achievement rate is like 4. The All Blacks are almost at 6, so the All Blacks don't have any problems in that department. So, yeah, I don't know. Is Italy's focus going to be more defensively than trying to score points? Not sure. But, yeah, they could try to go high balls and put D-Mac under pressure. But, again, if you kick it to them, they can run it back to you. So, yeah, they certainly need to keep 15 men on the field. They've had a fair few yellow cards in games recently. But as always, it's easier said than done. If you're under heaps of pressure, you're trying to slow that quick ball down your own end, you give away a few penalties and you're like to end up with a man in the bin. But certainly against the All Blacks, you want to try and keep 15 men on the field as much as possible, kind of stating the obvious. But yeah, there you go. Last result I think was 2018, 66 points to 3, 2018. So a wee while ago now. But yeah, it is on at Stadio Olimpico. Carl Dixon's the ref, so it's an English ref. It's on at 2 p.m. local time, so it's an afternoon game, which makes it 2 a.m. over here in New Zealand. And there's a load of games on this weekend, so it'll be interesting to see how I play my sleeping schedule, because then you've got Japan and Ireland on at the same time. You've got England and Tonga on after that, South Africa, Wales after that, France and Argentina after that. All those games are on Flow Rugby for you guys in the States. If you want to watch them, link in the description. They're an affiliate for Flow. But in terms of the predictions for this one, the All Blacks by 55 is what the bookies say, and the All Blacks by 41 is what the Rugby Forecast algorithm says. So, yes, predicted to be a pretty messy one for the Italians, but as Kieran Crowley has said, he's not expecting big changes on the scoreboard to happen quickly, because quickly doesn't happen at this level. I think those were pretty much his exact words, but it's going to be a work in progress. So, I don't know what to expect. I think it's probably going to be an All Blacks big win. But I do hope the Italians can show us something, get on the board, maybe get a try or two. And yeah, fingers crossed everyone stays injury free. But you guys let me know your thoughts. How do you think this one's going to go? And yeah, I'll talk to you guys again soon. See you later.